Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another fun hour of learning here at Michael's and Faber-Castell. My name is Leigh Bella Ralston. I'm also known as Mommy Leigh. So before we get started, I'd love to say hello to everybody joining in this afternoon. Hey, Angie from New Jersey. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Georgiana. Hello, Robin. Hey, Esmeralda. Hi, Boss Queen EJ. Hello, hello. Looking forward to this class as well. Hey, Tina. Happy October. Yes. Hello. Happy October, everybody. Hello, Nancy. I'm so excited that you're here as well. Hey, Christine. Hey, Daisy. It's so hard. I don't have my glasses on. And I have this little bitty screen that I'm looking at. So if I miss your name, please don't get mad at me. Hey, Belle. Hey, Radhika. Did I pronounce that correctly? Hey, Glennis. Stephanie, Cher from Wisconsin, Yahara, hello there, and Sterling, hello. I am broadcasting live from Texas. It is very warm. It doesn't feel fall at all. But you know what? I put on this vest that I got last week from the clearance rack, and I'm like, this feels very fall and looks really good. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying cool, and I hope you're staying creative. So kudos to you for being here this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. It's always more fun when you're here with us. In behalf of Faber-Castell, we thank you guys so much for supporting our weekly classes. It means a lot to us. So today's class, we're going to create something whimsical, something kawaii. We've been doing a lot of kind of like impressionistic art. We've been, the last couple of weeks, we've worked with oil pastel, with the gelatos, watercolors. So today is something different, something very light and something very fun, perfect for fall. We'll be creating a very fun, whimsical layout, a kawaii, or however you want to call that, very cute fall bullet journal layout. Now, everything that you will learn today. This is something that you can apply to any crafty projects. Maybe you love card making. Maybe bullet journal is not for you. Maybe you love journaling. So when we hear the term bullet journal, this is a term for a system of planning that was created by writer Carroll. I really highly suggest you look up his book, and he explained the whole concept of the bullet journal. Now everybody's using the term bullet journal just, for very lightly, not about the system anymore. It's almost about having a planner in a notebook. So instead of having, the regular monthly calendar where you have your boxes and your weeks, the days of the week, basically you start with a blank notebook like this. I'm using a dot grid. You can be using like a plane, you can be using a square grid. The thing that I would not recommend if you're going to do a lot of bullet journaling would be aligned, just because maybe the line can be a little bit distracting. But then again, it's also helpful when it comes to, doing your lines and your squares and all that. But then it's just not my personal favorite. So my personal favorite is a dot grid like this. And if you don't have it, whatever you have in there, it's going to be okay. So like what I said, today I am going to be creating in this notebook. And we're going to use, instead of like a regular boxes, we're going to create a weekly layout. Instead of regular boxes, rectangles, I want to use this template that I got from Michael's. We're going to use a circle shape in here. Now, the circle is something that you can find, if you don't have this template, maybe you have the inside of your painter's tape, maybe you have the bottom of, this one is a gesso. So use any circle shape like that for a template, or if you don't have it, you can just eyeball things and, just make circles. And then writer Carol, yes. And then for markers, I will be using my favorite. I know this is really hard because I have a lot of markers just from Faber-Castell alone. But if I can choose, and they say you can only choose one marker and that's what you're going to use for the rest of your life, gonna have to say that the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens are just my favorite. These are just fabulous markers. I mean, I have been using these markers even before I started working for the company. I just love them. It's a water-based India ink, and it doesn't have any foul smell. It has a brush tip. Now, the color black 199 comes in different tips. It has, from the finest is a zero point 0.1 or the extra, extra super fine. And then you have a 0.3, then 0.5, the usual size. I love a good brush pen. It's my favorite. I use it for doodles. Yes, a brush tip. I use it for doodling because because the tip is flexible, it gives me enough, it gives me a variety of strokes when I play around with my pressure when I'm using the marker, right? So even though I'm drawing, I'm still using a brush tip, believe it or not. But if you are a fan of like super fine tip, then you're going to want the 0.3 or the 0.1. When I'm writing, my favorite is a 0.3. It's not so small. It's still, thin enough that I can write neat. The 0.1 sometimes is a little bit too thin for me. I think if I'm going to find that Goldilocks, happy medium, it would be the 0.3 for me. And then they also have the Fudenosuke, which is a FM, but I'm not going to use that today. But the colors I'll be using today, if you don't have the exact colors or if you don't have the exact markers, that's okay. But the colors, I want to just give you a glance in here. If my camera would focus, would be nice. Would it focus? Come on, focus on us. So these are the colors. We're going to have fall colors today. We have very light, I say light, but then the name is dark chrome yellow. Again, I always kind of like bring out many different type of colors, but then just kind of like, am I going to use it? Maybe. Am I going to use it? Maybe not. So you just kind of like pull those colors just in case. So this one is the green gold. This one is terracotta, very nice orange color. This one is Scarlet Red 118. It's almost like in between of an orange and red. If I'm going to use layman's term to explain the colors in here, this one is an India Red 192. It's a very warm brown, light brown. This one is dark sepia. And for the greens, I'm going to use May Green 170. And this one is the Chromium Green Opaque 174. So yeah, that's going to work, Angie. Perfect. Yes, that's going to work. Okay. So, all right. And then if you want, you can use a pencil first just to kind of like sketch out our doodles or drawings, the illustration that we're going to create. Or if you want to go straight in with your marker, yeah, feel free. I think I'm going to use a 0.3, the fine tip, to add my circles. So what I want to do is I want to add maybe 3 in here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or we can add 4 until Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be on the other side. But I think I want 3 in here, and I want a little small area here at the bottom just so I can have something for my notes or remarks that you want to put in here. So on the top left, we're going to leave a little bit of space. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7, just so we can add the month in there later on. And then we're going to make it where it's 7 here too. So 7 across, 7 dot grid, 7 spaces. Then I'm going to start with my circle. So this template has different different sizes. I think I'm going to use maybe the 2.5 is too small. Maybe the 2.750 is a perfect one. I think this is like, see, look at this. It's almost the same size as the gesso. So if you have anything like this, this size, use that one. I actually have some salt in here. Why do I have salt in here? This one's too big. Are we ready? Okay. Yes, Patricia, brush pens. I know. It's going to be fun. Okay, here we go. I think I have it. Do we have it? All right, so I'm going to start with Monday. We're going to have some of the circles going to overlap a little bit, okay? Because it looks nice like this. So I'm gonna go right in. Can I use a glass cup? Yes, Belle. Yeah, it might be a little big. But this one, look at this glass cup right here. This one is like the perfect size too. What I have. See, this one is not so big. It's the same. It fits exactly inside this template. That is crazy. So yeah, that is a mug. So you could definitely use that. Or if you cannot find anything, go ahead and just create like a square if you want, you know. So we're not going to stress about this circle thing. And then I'm going to overlap my Tuesday. But we're not going to go on top of that circle. So it's almost going to look like this is in the background or the... Lisa, you saw Sheldon. Yes, Sheldon is there, my cute turtle character. Howdy. All right, so we're going to put this in. This, oops, right that. And I'm going to have my Wednesday, going to overlap both of them. I guess I'll have enough space in here in the middle for my drawing. And then I'll have some few space at the bottom as well. I don't want to have it where it's the same placement as our first circle. So I'm going to move it a little bit to my left, just so they're not exactly the same. And if you're going to see, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see. There's a little area right there. So let's not miss that. Just that. And then I'm going to go underneath. All right. Now, I don't know about you. I am always struggling when I'm using template or stencil like this. I don't know what's the key. I think my friend shared with me is that I'm writing too hard. Again, there's my issue is that I really write hard and heavy. So instead of having better control, I am losing control. It's so crazy. All right, so I'm gonna switch it like this. So we have 4 circles in here, or what you can do, you can have one circle for your Saturday and Sunday instead, you know, if you don't want to create 4 in here, because it might be a little tricky, but we'll figure this out. So even if we overlap a lot of things, maybe I should use the 2.5. Nah, we'll stick with the 2.750. Start with that. So that's a Thursday. Then I'll do a Friday in here. It's not going to be full circle, but maybe I'll do it like this. So it's still going to be inside my page. So my friend said, try to write light, you know, so just kind of like relax while you're using your stencil. And I think it's actually making a big difference. Okay, now we're going to do Thursday, Friday. We'll do Saturday. I don't like that. I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to make it where it's slanted. My Sunday is going to be really small. I don't usually plan anything on Sunday unless I have something that I want to remind myself for the next week. Does that make sense? So probably something that, hey, tomorrow, you know, for Monday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, and maybe I'll make my Sunday where it's really, really small. Because lately I've been finding my layouts quite boring because everything is just very almost the same because I'm doing a vertical layout each time because I love that vertical layout. But I'm like, you know what? I really want to play around as well instead of just kind of like staying with just a vertical layout. I want to play around with my shapes that I'm going to use for my weekly, my days. So I think this is a good one, circle. Okay, here we go. And then I'll start with just adding a circle in the middle for our date. I'm going to keep this one simple. And then I'm going to do my weekend in a different color. So until Thursday would be green. So just try to find that middle. Hey Mary, I'm so glad you're here. I thought you wouldn't make it. So hello. I am so glad you are here as well. I think we have someone joining in from Toronto. I will be in Toronto this weekend. Oh, okay, so right here, find them. Why am I using different color? You know what? We'll just go for it. We're gonna make Friday special. And then I'll do this Saturday and Sunday the same. Because I was talking to Mary, I got distracted. I'm not blaming you, Mary. Okay. So I love writing in script. Now you don't have to do this. You can write it in a print, a very cute print style for your days of the week. Or if you have stickers that you want to use, I love stickers. Anybody else here loves stickers too? I love stickers. But I also love writing. I love playing with my art supplies. And so I love using my markers. So, all right, so I'm gonna do Monday. Right. There's Monday. Lisa said, I love stickers. Belle says, I love them. I'm so glad I'm not alone. My husband always says, you are never gonna grow up, are you? I said, nope, nope, I am not. Tuesday, I think here. Yeah, we'll do Tuesday here. Tuesday. The reason why I love the Faber-Castell because of the brush size. It's not so big, it's not super small. And when you apply some heavy pressure, then you can get thicker strokes. But then if you go light, then you can go as thin as a 0.3. I mean, it just depends on how light you're going to write, but it really is so versatile. Brush pens forever. But I know a lot of people love the 1.5, the bullet tip. I'm curious to know, what is your favorite tip of marker? Me, for sure. I know you guys know this. I love brush pens. All right, Thursday. Daisy said, I do too love stickers. Yay! Sticker lovers unite. And then Friday, I love stationery. I remember when back in elementary, oh, that was ages ago, but I remember we used to trade stationaries with my classmates. So I was like, I don't have that. And it was scented. Anybody else remember those times? Our stationaries were scented. So it's like, ooh, I love this one. I don't have this. So we would trade them. Okay, so we got the basics, the days, the dates for a calendar. I think we're good. Now to fill in, you're going to notice we have a lot of space in here. We're going to fill that in later by creating some fall leaves. But I want to fill in this area right here, and this area right here. But, oh, let's letter November in here. I think I'm going to use the brown. No, the black. I'll stick with the black because I used it anyway. So we're going to do November here. I still have my sticker. No way. Really? Lisa says she still has her sticker books from elementary school. That is so impressive. Oh man, wow. That is super fun. That is super fun. I am really impressed because I want to say I do, but growing up in the Philippines, we were flooded so much. So yeah, we don't have my stationaries anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna letter November here on the top left. You can do both. Sometimes I do both. Sometimes the top left and the top right, I would letter November. But we'll just do it once, and I'm gonna do it in script, so it's so pretty. And I will only letter NOV instead of writing the whole November in here. So we're just doing the first 3 letters, just like that. And then I'm going to use my terracotta. I'll just add a box in here. I'm going to write in 2024. I mean, I know what year it is, but it looks more like a calendar when you have the month, your days, and then your year. It's more fun. Okay, hold on. Why am I in November already? Yep, we're gonna have to change this one. No, but for me, it's okay to write October for you guys, please. Don't copy what I did. All right, then I'm gonna use part of the I think we'll use a terracotta as well. Now, when it comes to brush lettering, if you need some assistance, maybe a crash course, we have some videos here on Michael's YouTube channel. You can just browse through that. We have like from the basic to a more advanced when it comes to brush lettering. We have a lot of videos about modern calligraphy, hand lettering, however you want to call it, brush lettering, and all that. So we have those. We have some advanced blending or just from the basic, just learning your basic strokes. We have all that for you. So make sure to check it out. Okay, so to add a little bit of colors in here, I'm going to add a drop shadow. Now, I know that some of you are here every week. You guys know how to do the drop shadow already. We got to choose a light source. So my light source, I'm always imagining my light source or my sun or the light on my top right. So everything is, my shadow has to be on the left side. So this was my very mistake when I was first starting with lettering, was that I thought you just add color everywhere, so little did I know you have to choose just one side of the stroke where to add your drop shadow or that extra color. So here, this is the left side of my stroke in here. So I'm going to add a little bit of that terracotta in here. And then I'm going to taper it. So you go from thin to kind of thick, and then I thin it out again, right? So from here, it's almost like connecting, but I'm going to go hop into the inside of this loop right here so I can add some drop shadow to the left side of this stroke, just like that. All right, and then I'll do the same in here. Again, this class is being recorded, so if any parts of the class you feel like, you know what, how did we do that again? I kind of missed that. You can always watch the replay. The replay will be available tomorrow. And if you're watching this replay, we hope that you can join us next week. Right, there we go. I can letter October if you guys want, so you guys can have an example. Do you guys want me to letter October in another page? And then have a little bit of stroke in here left, just like that. Okay, let's letter October for you guys. Because I'm like you, I love seeing it, so I can have a reference. So we'll start with the O, and I'm going to write slow so you can see. Now, O is a really good letter to practice because from a downstroke, so every time you would write towards your body, this is when you're going to apply a little bit of pressure in your brush pen. And I want you to pay attention. This is so important. The moment that I changed the way I hold my pen is the moment I started getting better at brush lettering. Because if you hold your pen upright position just like this, you will not get you will not see a big difference from your thin and your thick. You won't be able to use the width of your brush tip if you're holding your pen upright position. So it has to be angled 45-degree like this, so you can use the tip and then apply a little bit of pressure and use that belly or that body of the brush. All right, so downstroke is when you're going to apply a little bit of pressure and then use the tip and go really light and go up. So you can see the difference from my thick to the thin. So every time you do a downstroke, again, heavy, right? So Mary knows this now. Mary says, she always hears me every time she would do any type of brush lettering. It's like going down, heavy, going light, up, going down, heavy, going light, up, all right? So we add this one in here for that loop. This is our connecting. See, this is our connecting stroke to connect the letter O to our letter C. So upstroke, downstroke, stretch it out a little bit so you can connect your letter T. And then downstroke, lift to create that thin. And then every time you would do a horizontal stroke, this is just thin or light pressure. Right. Another mistake that I see a lot of people they do is they're almost writing in script. That is not the correct way. You don't do, so this is what I see. And it's like, no, we don't do that. We're not writing in script. We are drawing our letters. So we go O, or connect here, C, connect it, and then letter T. So you would never see me in one stroke finish a word by not lifting my marker. You have to lift it. Each stroke, you have to lift it. Okay, so look at the October, choose which one you want. I'll do another variation just so you can see. We have our O in here. You can add a little bit of like this, kind of like a little tail in there. And then make this one thin. This, and then you can add a little bit of extra in here as well, just like that. So a bit more fancy if you want, right? That's our October. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to add 2024. Just like that. We are in October, Lay. My mind is already in November. You know why? Because I am designing something for November. That's why my brain is in November. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I want to fill this bottom page with some kawaii pumpkins, some mushrooms, very fall. And then some fall leaves again everywhere. So it's always hard to write in this middle part. So we're going to start with a very stretched oval or a very narrow, very thin. I'm going to do it on this side just so you can see a sample first because it's always easier to do it this way. If you're ready to follow along with me, are you ready? So you can start with this shape. Just like this, an oblong. And then we start connecting that. So it's like a letter C, like that. And then you do the opposite, or like a letter D, belly of a letter D. It's like this. And then in the middle, we're going to go up to the right, short stroke, and then going down to the slide, right? So from here, we went up again, short stroke horizontal, and then slightly slanted going down. Now from here to your very last C, we're going to add a very small mountain, just like this, like a scalloped, and then another one to connect it there to the back. And we do the same, but the opposite. We go start with this, and then we go over there, right? This is a little bit wonky. Don't copy that. Just stretch it out a little bit. Right. So I'm going to go over here. I'll start with my middle, my oblong here. It's just a bit hard when it's like right smack in the middle. It's okay. We got this. I'll start adding my short strokes. Now we're going to color this in, so I'm not trying to be super careful. Just like this. And then another one. And then another one. So this is the terracotta color, but I want to go in with my lighter. This is the dark chrome yellow, and I'm going to fill in this whole shape. Now, if you used a pencil, you can then now use your markers to color it in. You want to start with a maybe light yellow first, and then you can blend. Now, the way I'm blending in here is the way I know best, or because I've used these markers for a very long time. I already know the look that I'm getting if I start with the light or I start with the heavy. Does that make sense? So the more you use your products, the more you use your markers, no matter from which brand, really you're going to get so familiar with it that you're not going to overthink anything. You already know the result you're going to get. So play around with your supplies, with your markers or paints, so that the next time you use it, you're like, I don't even have to overthink it. I know how to blend this. I'm going to start with my dark so I can have my shadows right already. Or you want to start with a yellow or the light because it blends much better. It just depends on which marker you're using and from which brand, of course. So with this one, because I've started with my terracotta, it was a little darker, than the dark chrome yellow. I've already established my shadow in there. And so it's so much easier. So now I'm going to use my dark sepia, the brown one, to cover up my little stalk over here. And this one, I'm going to cover the part where I did the line art as well, because it's okay. I want this to be pure brown in here. So we're just going to cover it up, even over there, and then this side. So we have that one. Now, I myself love anything kawaii. So, I'm already going to have to add faces in there when it's slightly drier. I am grabbing like a beige color. If you have anything beige color there, grab those, please. Maybe like a cream for the base of our mushroom. So I have beige red, more like a very light coral color. And then I have the apricot color as well. Okay, so the way we're going to do our mushroom. So I think I made my pumpkin super large, but it's okay. So I'm going to draw the mushroom real quick just so you can see it. You can either start with the cap, the mushroom cap, or the body of the mushroom. You can use, just like this, almost like drawing like a mountain, right? And then you can add some shape. You can make it where it's just, I'm going to draw different ones so you can have an idea. You can make it just like this. This. You can make it like that. So just choose which one you want. So the body be narrow on the top, and then it goes down like a tree, just like drawing a tree. You don't have to have a slant. This one, notice how I have a little bit of slant. You can make it where it's just diagonal, just more like this. It really is up to you. Now, when you have a little bit of like this, a little bit of a hump, just like that, you can add something back. Connect from where your mushroom ended, and then you're going to move it right across the center. And then from here, I'm just going to go move it also right to the center. Now, to make the is it gills? I don't know. I don't think mushroom has gills, but those little texture inside the mushrooms. So we're just going to add some stripes in there or some lines um, all over it. So I'm going to start from the inside of the mushroom and I'm going to have it where it's almost like curving and I'm going to stretch it going on the other side, just like that. I'm going to go over here and then go again on the other side until I can fill in the whole space or this whole area right here. You can start from the outside if it feels more comfortable, then just go right in there. When it comes to drawing, you're going to find which is more comfortable for you because we're all different. Sometimes gliding from the left to the right is more comfortable for somebody, and sometimes from the right to the left is more comfortable. So just find which one that works for you best. All right, if you have this one, then you can still add a little bit in there. I don't think you're going to have enough for your lines, but just, fill it in as much as you can, just like that. This one for sure, I don't think I have. This one is almost like, imagine it where it's almost like leaning on top of you. So it's like, you're not seeing it from under. It's like right straight to your face. So you're not going to see the bottom part of your mushroom. So you're just going to have to add some textures in the mushroom cap, just a little bit of, little things like this. You can make it big, you can make it small, or you play around and do variety of sizes. You can add as many as you would like, I like to do things in threes, just very simple, just like this. All right, so I'm going to have to draw mine onto the other side again. But I like demonstrating it and showing you different things like this because I really want you to see how easy it is, because sometimes we get overwhelmed when we look at the whole picture and I'm like, no way, there's no way I can absolutely do that. But I mean, you've seen how easy it was to draw a pumpkin. It was like super simple. And then the mushroom too. All right, so for this time, I'm going to use a beige red. Notice how I have two different colors again, right? Kind of like what I did with the pumpkin. And again, I'm going to use this slightly darker one, which is the beige red, to do my line art. And then I'm going to color it in with the apricot color later on. But I'm just going to use the slightly darker to do that line art or to also establish that shadow. And this time I think I'm going to make my mushroom like tall and really skinny just because I want to have some behind my pumpkin. And I'm going to make it wear like this. Underneath. So this one is almost like I'm looking, I can see the inside of this mushroom. Just like this. Gonna add a little bit of that beige red. And then while the markers are still slightly wet, I'm coming in with my apricot color, which is this lighter than the beige red. Add a little bit more in there. And then go back in with the apricot color so I can blend in some of that darker. We can have a really nice gradient blend. Now, sometimes you're going to see, why is this not blending for me? Or, why am I not getting the same result? The answer to that is because we're all using probably different notebooks. So papers are not created equal. It's just, it's sometimes slightly frustrating because you're like, you see somebody else and you're like, that does not, it doesn't look the same, just because of that. So think of it like, we're all using different papers. So the way our inks are reacting to the paper is, the way it's being absorbed and dissolved is very different. So just enjoy it and have fun. Now, if you have any white marker, like any white gel pen, you can add in that on top of things. But since I don't have anything on hand at the moment, I'm just going to add in a little bit of circle. And so I know that these areas inside of my circle is going to be white. So I'm creating like a white negative space by just adding these circles in here. And then I'm going to color in the rest and just avoid the inside of those circles. So I'm not going to try and be super delicate or careful with this one. I'm just going to color it in. So I'm using the color I'm using right now is Scarlet Red. This beautiful red orange color. It's just gorgeous. Now, again, like what I said, if you are not into bullet journaling, you can definitely use this in your just art journals, or you can use this to create a card, for a friend. And then for my brown on the inside, I'm going to use the Indian red. I'm just going to add in my texture of the mushroom. I might have to add a line art for my mushroom later on. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Just like this. And this is the perfect time to add in some contrast, or if you want to do a little bit of blending, which I do. So I'm going to add in the Indian red in here. And again, while it's still wet, I'm going to go in with the beige red. And I'm almost like pulling in some of those Indian red and just kind of like blending it in with this beige red, which is the lighter shade. So I can have a nice gradient. Again, if you're doing this with another marker, maybe it's not going to look exactly the same. It just depends also on that paper that you are using. Some paper are it absorbs the ink so fast, you don't have enough time to blend. So, it's just so different. So don't get frustrated if you're not getting the same result. It's probably just your paper and not you. Okay, I like that. That's good enough for me. Okay. Cover it up. And then I want to add in, I know it's so simple and it's so cute. It's like a children's storybook. I love it. Okay, and then I'm going to add one here where it's almost like my mushroom is like, this one is leaning to the right. I want to make this one leaning to the left, but I want to make it a little bit shorter so I can have, even if we cover up some of that circle, I think it's going to be okay. But then you're going to have that black line, If I used a pencil first for my outline, I could probably pull that off, but I don't think I'm going to like that black marker in there in the middle of my mushroom. So I'm just going to make it where it's like this one, it's almost behind my circle also. So I think I'm going to start with the mushroom cap in here first so I can really gauge my placement. I want to make sure that I have enough mushroom cap showing, and then it has to be leaning to my left. So I'll start with the top, right? And then I'll just add here, just like that. And again, I'll have a little bit of hump in there so that it can show the underbelly. I don't know what to call it, of the mushroom. Next fall, when we do this class, I'm going to do my scientific research. What it is called. Unless somebody here knows what it's called or can Google it, you can share it with us. Gil, so it was really, oh, I was right. Oh my gosh. I probably learned it from school, then just forgot. So it was probably in my subconscious mind. That's why I said gills. Oh man. Thanks, Mary. The gills of the mushroom. Here we go. There. So I think I'm good with that. Now we're going to add our base. So it has to be like this, because it's like leaning there, just like that. And add the underneath part, just color it in. You can add a bit of a grass in there if you would like. The cap, all right, the beige is the stem, and the gill of the mushroom. There we go. So where is my Indian red? Add my Indian red over here, like in the middle part, just to add some contrast. The shadow from our mushroom cap too. Now, interestingly, if you would like, to make it a bit more whimsical than it already is, but it's already so whimsical. What you can do is, my favorite thing to add would be some colored pencil on top of this one, because when you add some colored pencils, you're adding some textures to it, which is really, it adds some magic. Now, it's not for everybody because, we all have different styles, but, you can try it. You guys know how much I love that look. So, I mean, you can always try. So coming in from the inside, just adding the gills like here. They all meet in the center instead of just kind of like going down, straight down. Then I'm going to add a little bit more of that Indian red just to really show that middle part in there. Then I'll go in with my beige red and just blend a little bit of that ink right there. Just like that. Add something there. That's why I'm thinking maybe I would need some line art later, but maybe not. I think we're okay with that. Like it. Do we add one more here? I think we should. It's missing something, so I'm going to do this quick so we can have. Now, where is it going to lean? Lean with it. Lean with it. I think slightly, maybe tilting to my right, or just straight on. Ah, decisions. So we'll do our mushroom cap first. So I'll just do it where it's like really straight up. That was the choice. Sometimes I just have to go do it because the more I think about it, I'm going to sit here and think about where it's leaning. And then before you know it, it's like time's up. So we're just going to have to go for it. Be brave. All right. I can imagine this being so lovely also if you're doing like any type of art journaling, daily art journaling. You can use this to create your border underneath and then just add your thoughts, over here. So even if you're not doing any type of bullet journaling or any planning, use it for your art journal. I think this is going to be so, so cute. So whimsical. Right, that we add our beige red. We can adjust the body. I'm trying to make it like leaning from here, but you know what? No, I'm just going to do this. So a little bit is showing, but not so much. Going to do the apricot color. So it's not so dark. That is why this one is super dark, because I just used the beige red and that was it. Then when you get down here, I can add a bit more beige red in here, so it looks darker. We'll add our India red. That's the stem of the mushroom, or the body of the mushroom. The stem. Right there. We can even move and blend some of those India red to create like an outline already. Then we're going to do our outline. We start in the middle. I'm just going to bring it up. Again, my lines are slightly curved. It's not like straight vertical. Like notice it how I'm just coming in from the center and I'm just using the tip of the brush to create a thinner stroke, and I'm just going up. But again, it's slightly curved, not diagonal. It's like everything is like slightly curved in there, just like that. The paper that I'm using, Cecilia, this is my journal. So we have a small business. It is my stationery company. It's called the Little Bits Box. So this paper is so smooth, it doesn't blend. I love how the markers blend in here because I am an artist. So having a very nice notebook and paper and journal was so important to me. So we really had to find a manufacturer for this journals. I absolutely love them. It is a marker paper, correct? Yes, we're using a marker paper. So if you use like an alcohol ink, and if you don't do a whole lot of layers, it's not going to bleed through. So you're most welcome. All right, so we have that. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of the beige red and the India ink. Just add a little bit to the tip of the beige red and just kind of like really add some contrast to this one instead of adding some line art. Oh, Lisa, thank you, thank you. Okay, so add this one. So I'm like, okay, I need something to use with my Faber-Castell markers. So now you have the option. Do you want to add in a little bit of like dirt in here, dirt looking to the ground, or maybe you want to add some yellow, if you want to add brown, then we can use a dark sepia if you want, just kind of like just to add this. So make sure it's like a broken line because you really want to match the aesthetic of your whole illustration. If you have like a clean look, then, I'll have a straight line in here. But since everything is looking whimsical, very, painterly, so even my strokes when I'm writing, I apologize, when I'm doing my dirt, it's like a broken dash, some broken lines to add a little bit of texture to see that. So I'm using the tip of the brush and just playing around with my pressure in there. You can add that. You can add a little bit of grass if you want. I know it's fall, but you can still have a bit of grass in there. You can add in just a little bit and not so much. I mean, and this is where using a brush pen really, really fun because again, you can just play around with the tip of the brush and use it, apply different variety of pressure so you can really get, that stroke more thin or thick if you need to, then just apply a little bit of pressure. So I'm just, again, look at me. I'm just almost treat it where you're like using really a paintbrush. You're using a round brush. So very strokey. It's not clean lines. So it's just kind of like a little bit here and there. So to give you a little bit of impression of little tiny grass sprouting from that ground. And notice how I didn't use a light green because a light green gives you that feel of more spring, right? Because the grass is fresh and it's green. But when I'm using dark green, this is a chromium green opaque, it really does match that feel of the fall. Now, again, I love kawaii, so I need to add the faces in my mushrooms and my pumpkin. You don't need to do this, but I am just obsessed with kawaii. It is my favorite. That's why I design stationaries that are so adorable. So we have our kawaii face in there. It's almost like they're having a conversation, the mushroom and my pumpkin right there. It's like, hey, you enjoying the fall? So they're over there having a conversation. Oh goodness. And then I'm going to add a little bit here. Now you can play around with your the size of your eyes. You can make it simple. You know, we need to have a class like that where we're just going to learn about different kawaii face expressions. Remind me, please, for our next one. Okay, so for the rest of everything in here, you can add, you know, you can choose to add more mushrooms in here if you like, but I'm going to add a little bit of fall leaves just to really spread that fall. Again, we've learned how to make the leaves, right? So I always start with the middle part, and it helps me with the direction of the leaf as well. So it's like leaning here, then I start from the bottom. I go one, just in case you forgot, I'll remind you again, two, and then a triangle on top. And then here you go down. So it's like going down the ladder. So you went up and then now you're going down. Like just like that. It's so, so, so easy. Thank you so much, guys. We really do appreciate you. I wish that we have more time to finish this whole spread, but really it's almost finished. We just need to add our leaves. I'm going to finish this off camera. But as always, we do appreciate you. I hope that this was fun. It was so chill and so relaxing. I really had a wonderful time with this. Now, again, you have some extra space. You know, you can play around, maybe make more mushrooms and all that, or add more leaves, add a box in here for like a to-do, things like that. But play around, use your imagination, have lots of fun. But most of all, make sure to enjoy it. Thank you so much, Judith. Thank you, Belle. I had a wonderful time as well. Thank you. Thank you, Mika. All right, guys, we'll see you again next week. Same time, Wednesday, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Make sure to check schedule. So just in case I'm wrong, make sure to check it out at michaels.com, classes and events. So we'll see you again next week. And as always, stay creative and stay happy. Bye, everybody.